Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, especially the AFC North, you've probably heard some whispers about the Cleveland Browns and their future plans. But what's really going on behind the scenes? Well, it seems like the Browns are exploring some interesting options, and one of the most talked about rumors involves a name that's been making waves in college football: Shedeur Sanders, the Colorado legend who has rapidly become one of the most discussed prospects in recent years. But here's the kicker: the Browns' current situation with Sanders isn't exactly what fans might have expected. It's a story of potential, yet to be realized, community impact, and maybe even a future trade that could shake up the entire league. Right now, Shedeur Sanders isn't exactly lighting up the field for Cleveland. In fact, he's been relegated to a very different role, more of an emergency insurance quarterback rather than a serious contender for the starting spot. During training camp, reports have indicated that Sanders was sometimes throwing to staff members instead of actual receivers. Can you imagine that? Throwing passes to equipment guys, not to the talented wideouts or tight ends you'd expect from a rookie of his caliber. ESPN's Aaron Goldhammer humorously pointed out that Sanders was throwing not to receivers, but to equipment staff, with some staff members even running routes and snapping him the ball during practice. It's a far cry from the expectations many had when the Browns drafted him, especially considering his reputation coming out of Colorado as a dynamic playmaker and leader. But here's the interesting part: despite not making a splash on the field yet, Shedeur Sanders is already making a profound impact in the community. And that's something that often gets overlooked in the NFL. Many rookies take some time to settle in and start making off-field contributions, but Sanders has been different from day one. Cecil Shorts, a respected voice in Cleveland's sports scene, emphasized how unusual it is for a rookie to be involved so early in his community's life. Sanders has been seen engaging in initiatives at the Garden Valley Projects, showing a level of maturity and dedication that's rare for a player so new to the league. It's clear that Sanders is not just about the game, he's about making a difference beyond the gridiron, which adds another layer to his already compelling story. Now, let's talk about the future. The Browns might be patient with Sanders, but as we all know in the NFL, patience has its limits. If the team feels that Sanders isn't fitting into their plans in the short term or even the medium term, they could decide to move on. And there's a fascinating trade prediction floating around that suggests Sanders could be headed to the San Francisco 49ers, a team looking to reassert itself among the league's top contenders after a disappointing 6-11 record last season. The 49ers, led by head coach Kyle Shanahan, have always been known for their innovative offense and their ability to develop talent. While Brock Purdy has been serviceable as the starting quarterback, there's a question mark about whether he's reached his ceiling. San Francisco, it seems, might see Sanders as a long-term solution, an investment in their future. The idea is that Sanders, still early in his development, could thrive under Shanahan's offensive system. If he gets the right coaching and development opportunities, he could potentially elevate the 49ers' offense to a new level. Andy Quach of SI pointed out that with Sanders in the mix, the 49ers could stay in the NFL's upper echelon for years to come, maintaining their status as a top-tier team. It's a gamble, of course, but one that could pay off if Sanders continues to develop and adapts quickly to the NFL style of play. Of course, this is all speculation at this point, and the Browns aren't necessarily looking to trade him immediately. But the NFL is a business, and when a player like Sanders, with his talent and community presence, isn't fitting into the current puzzle, teams start to explore their options. It's worth noting that the Browns have a history of making strategic moves to build a winning team, and bringing in a quarterback with Sanders' upside could be part of a bigger picture. They might even see him as a trade asset down the line, especially if they believe that other quarterbacks on the roster are better suited for their immediate Super Bowl aspirations. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Browns, as a franchise, are in an interesting position. They've shown flashes of brilliance in recent seasons, especially with their defense and the development of young talent. Their offense has been inconsistent at times, but with Deshaun Watson now at the helm, they're hoping to finally turn the corner and make a deep playoff run. The addition of a player like Sanders in the future, whether through draft, development, or a trade, could be the missing piece to elevate the team's ceiling even higher. It's about building a sustainable contender that can compete year after year, and Sanders could be a part of that puzzle or a valuable trade piece to bring in proven talent. And let's talk about the Cleveland Browns' recent history for a moment. Since their return to the league in 1999, the Browns have had their ups and downs, but the last few seasons have been promising. They've built a solid foundation on both sides of the ball, with a defense that's among the best in the league and an offense that's still finding its rhythm. The arrival of Deshaun Watson gave fans renewed hope that the team could finally make that playoff push. Now, adding a young quarterback like Sanders, whether in the future or as a trade target, fits into that overall strategy of long-term competitiveness. The Browns are clearly aiming to be a team that's in the postseason conversation consistently, and the right moves in the quarterback position could be the key to that. Looking ahead to this season, Cleveland fans are eager to see how the team evolves. The schedule is tough, and expectations are high after last year's setbacks. The defense remains one of the league's best, boasting stars like Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward, but the offense needs to find its rhythm. If Deshaun Watson can stay healthy and perform at the level we saw during his prime, the Browns could be dangerous. But the story of Sanders adds an intriguing subplot. Could he develop into a future star, or will the Browns decide that his time in Cleveland is limited? That's what makes this storyline so compelling. It's about patience, development, community impact, and strategic moves that could define the franchise's future for years to come. The NFL is always full of surprises, and the Browns are no exception. Whether Sanders stays, develops into a star, or gets traded to a team like the 49ers, the narrative around him is one of potential and possibility. Cleveland fans should be excited because no matter what happens, this team is on the rise. They've got a solid core, a passionate fan base, and a front office that's not afraid to make bold moves. The trade rumors and the developmental stories are just part of the bigger picture of a franchise that's trying to cement itself among the league's elite. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all this? Do you believe Shedeur Sanders can be a future star for the Browns, or do you think the team should explore trading him for a more immediate impact player? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates on all things Browns, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Keep the passion alive, and let's see what this season has in store for us. Thanks for sticking with me, and as always, go Browns.